it's a sweltering 31 degrees at the moment inside my office. I've got Anthony Taylor's bald head on full display as I'm keeping tabs on Palmeiras, who have, it would seem, without me realizing, had someone sent off. I hope it's not Estevan Willian. Esteval Willian. Speaking of Brazilian sides, we have a big one coming up here, as the title or the thumbnail would suggest. A big win equals knockout stages. Of course, as we know, Jorginho has recently moved to Flamengo after moving from Arsenal, where obviously has massive relations to Chelsea. So much like the game against LAFC, there are implications whereby we would like to try our hardest to avoid allowing a former Chelsea star, former Chelsea player, former Champions League winner, much like Olivier Giroud, scoring or at least causing some sort of kerfuffle, some sort of impact in this game. Listen, we've played Brazilian sides twice in the past, and the record is as follows. Palmeiras, I think that was recent, no? I think that was fairly recent. Was that not in the Club World Cup when we won it? I could be wrong. Although it says 3 points. So I'm unsure. When that game would have been. But the other one was against Corinthians, where I think that was the Club World Cup final where we lost. Or like the semi-finals. So we beat Palmeiras. We lost against Corinthians. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2-1. It was the FIFA Club World Cup 2022. Lukaku, Kai Havertz with the 2 goals. Rafael Veiga, who is still at Palmeiras, just got booked, actually, funnily enough. That was in our I think it was actually the final. I think it was. By God, it was. Ironically so, we beat a Brazilian side to win the Club World Cup, of which we are currently in, awaiting our next game against a Brazilian side. Currently speaking, in terms of the groups, the way the group is currently laid out, Flamengo are on top. Can you believe it? Flamengo are on top, despite the fact that they have the same played games, the same amount of wins, same amount of draws, losses. Goal difference is the same. 2 goals, none conceded. 2+ goal difference, 3 points. The only difference being is disciplinary. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, they got 1 less yellow card. So Flamengo, they actually did, well, they got a booking for Bruno Enrique. So 1 for them, and then for us, I'm fairly sure we got a doozy. We got a fair old amount in the game against LAFC the other day. 1 for Cucurella, 1 for Tosin Adarabioyo, 1 for Reece James. That takes us to 3 versus 1. So they've beaten us so far by a goals tally. A yellow cards tally is what takes them above us. Of course, +2 or -2 in comparison to us. All this to say, in a 3-game group stage situation, it really doesn't matter, truth be told, what happens in a game like this, as long as we don't draw. If we draw, and God knows there's been enough 0-0 draws in this poxy tournament so far. Listen, the heat aside, it's 30 degrees at the moment at the time of recording. It's been swelteringly hot all day. I said I would do watch-alongs for a one a day, one game every single day. It's just not been the case. I have no interest in doing Real Madrid versus Al Hilal in 30-degree heat. I had no interest in doing River Plate versus Urawa Red Diamonds in 30-degree heat. Flamengo versus Esperance, the other day was 2-0. I don't want to try and Arejo and De Arrascatea. Arrascata. I'm not meaning to butcher the names, but Jesus Christ. 69% ball possession, 31% for Esperance, who we still have to play on the final day at 2 a.m. But it was, by all accounts, a pretty big landslide victory for them. 11 shots, 4 on target, 6 shots, 2 on target for Esperance. So I didn't watch the game. I should have probably watched the highlights at the very least. But like I say, with this tournament, I'm very much someone who is more interested in the knockout stages because let's be completely transparent here. No offense to Flamengo. I'd argue that they are the much the hardest. This is the hardest game by a mile, I think. LAFC, I think a lot of jet lag was involved in that game. I also think not really people caring too much in terms of players. I think the lack of fans, the lack of attendance maybe affected and made the players think no one really gives a fuck about this, to be completely honest with you. So there was an issue with that. You also had a whole load of other factors, the heat, whatever. 2-0, we absolutely should and could have beaten them by more. But to say the same way around, LAFC, they just weren't ever going to score against us. No matter how badly we played, I don't think. They just weren't a competition. It wasn't really a competition. Flamengo, on the other hand, they have a chance to make it 2-1 for Brazilian sides against Chelsea. I will be surprised if they don't get at least a goal against us. So we'll have to see. In terms of team sheet lineup, how we're going to set up. It has been reported that regardless of rulings or the way that FIFA has asked bigger sides to play their stars, it would seem that Maresca is going to rest players. And one man in particular who may be rested, not just for fitness reasons, but for also transfer reasons, is Noni Madueke, who is linked with a move to Arsenal, or at the very least, it would seem that he is close to being... not close to anything. But an exclusive came out saying England international Noni Madueke not considered untouchable at Stamford Bridge, and a host of Premier League clubs are in the market for wingers. And as such, Arsenal are now monitoring Noni Madueke's situation at Chelsea. Could you see Madueke in an Arsenal kit? I absolutely could. Predictions for this game. In terms of lineup, I don't really know how we're going to set up. I think Delap might start. I think Delap will start, in fact. Jorgensen in goal. A bit of a mix. Maybe Achiampong at right back. I don't know if it's sensible to play a rested side against Flamengo. As I said, to me, they seem like the hardest opponents that we have in our group. I don't know anything about experience, but they just got beaten 2-0 against Flamengo. So I would put my money on Flamengo being the ones to try and avoid going head to head in a first place sort of battle. This realistically is a decider for who finishes top. Let's be completely honest. If we win, we're gonna beat Esperance on the 25th. So if we lose, we're gonna beat Esperance. We're gonna go through either way. But realistically, I don't want to face Bayern Munich. But then, do we want to face PSG down the line? Who knows? Predictions wise for this game, I think it's going to be a tough one. But I do think Chelsea are going to win. 3-1 is my prediction for this game. Whilst I think they will be tough opponents, I do think Chelsea will get the better of them. The likes of Liam Delap and Liam Delap. He's going to be on fucking hot shit at the moment. He's full of beans. He's full of adrenaline. He's gonna get some goals, I reckon, in this game. This is the one. Got an assist in the last game. He'll get at least 2 goals in this one. That's my prediction. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. Let me know your thoughts on Madueke's situation as well. Would you let him go? And how much for? As always, my name is Harry. I'm a Chelsea. Peace.